The Gallatin County Sheriff's Office is investigating the killing of a pregnant cow in Clarkston. I'm Gabby Crevitt, and I'll have details on the investigation coming up.
A Bozeman road once riddled with road closure signs is now starting to see signs of relief, but for those living nearby, there's another side of that.
The time now 6:29 on Montana This Morning. Chet Lehman back with us at the desk. Still some flurries out there right now. It's probably going to make for a little bit of a tricky commute later today.
15 flakes I counted while I was out on the patio. Exactly, that will change as we go on. We did have about an inch of snowfall, as you mentioned. It is some slick roads out there, and it's not going to get super warm. We're talking about teens and 20s right now in southwest Montana, 9 below in West Yellowstone as we speak. Here's just a couple of things to look at for road conditions. Snow and ice, that's your answer from Bozeman to Big Timber on Interstate 90, I-15 up towards Boulder from Butte, snow and ice as well. Snow and ice on the VC Hill. Norris Hill could see some of that as well. Scattered snow and ice. Just give yourself a little extra time. As far as our Thanksgiving forecast, Caitlin, I have details of that coming up right here in about 10 minutes.
All right, thank you, Chet. If you're catching a Thanksgiving flight home this week, the TSA says plan to arrive at the airport a lot earlier than usual. The Bozeman Yellowstone International Airport expects traffic to be up 9.2% this week compared to last year's Thanksgiving travel week. That's why the TSA says you need to arrive at the airport at least 2 hours before your flight departs.
What makes it really tricky in Montana airports is we have banks of flights. We have flights that all depart around the same period of time, which means all the travelers come to the security checkpoint at the same time. So you get peaks and valleys. And so people need to know that when you're traveling, so are other people.
Dankers adds that security checkpoints will open at 4 a.m. and may even open a bit earlier this week. Also, wintry weather is expected, as Chet's been telling us all morning, toward the end of the week, and flights could be delayed by Sunday, so you may want to make some backup plans just in case you can't get back to town on Sunday. So the busiest times at the airport will be from 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. and then again from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you're taking a food treat for Thanksgiving, solid foods are okay in any quantity, but liquids like jams, jellies, or sauces are limited to 3.4 ounces unless it's in checked luggage. And use a gift bag instead of wrapping paper in case your gift has to be inspected. Don't want it to get unwrapped. And dress for any security by avoiding large belt buckles, bulky jewelry, or hair accessories. All of these tips will help you speed through security and make your flight on time. A disturbing story out of Clarkston this morning. A rancher finds one of his cows has been shot and killed and then butchered, and there's still more. MTN's Gabby Crevitt has the details.
I spoke with the rancher from Clarkston who said he was shocked to find his cow was killed. He says things like this just don't happen in the agricultural community, especially here.
Found the head cut off and hole in the head, so it was shot and it was butchered up, pretty good.
Last weekend, rancher Mike Wubin came across a chilling scene. One of his pregnant cows was killed and butchered.
They knew what they were doing. It was all cut up right, and they took basically everything you can. The only thing that was left was the gut pile and essentially the backbone and hip, and then obviously the fetus was there.
Wubin suspects somebody was hungry and in desperate need of the meat, but there have been no leads on the investigation yet. One thing that is certain, losing a pregnant cow comes with an unfortunate cost.
Well, it's one cow down. I'm already at -1 on calves, haven't even started calving now.
Word spread quickly on social media about Wubin's lost cow. John Youngberg with the Montana Farm Bureau Federation came across the Facebook post.
Farmers and ranchers care for their cows, not only financially, but they're treated as part of the herd, part of the family.
It kind of shakes other people around. I mean, I'm not the only guy that's got cows out here. There's a lot of things people can do that are detrimental to farmers and ranchers, and this is for sure one of them.
Now, if you have any information about this pregnant cow that was killed, reach out to the Gallatin County Sheriff's Office. Reporting in Clarkston, Gabby Crevitt, MTN News.
Meantime, a Butte man is in jail after firing several shots with a handgun during an argument with his girlfriend on Friday. Police say Matthew Bowen got into an argument with the woman outside of his home on Baden Street, and as she drove away, he fired 2 shots into the air and 2 shots at her vehicle, with 1 round actually hitting the vehicle. Thankfully, no injuries were reported, and police did set up a perimeter around Bowen's home before taking him into custody.
For the safety of the people in the area and for themselves, and they're not going to put themselves in that type of danger or the public in danger, so they're going to take the cautions they need to take. So they set up a small perimeter. They called him out of the house, were able to get a hold of him, called him out of the house, and he came out of the house without incident.
A felony charge of criminal endangerment. A bar in downtown Bozeman has been shut down for 10 days by order of the state. The Montana Department of Revenue ordered Bar 9 to close its doors and pay a $5,000 fine as part of a settlement accusing the bar of breaking several liquor laws. According to that settlement agreement, Bar 9 and Bagels Etc. both shared a liquor license and served or allowed at least 2 underage people to drink alcohol. The order also says the bar employed a 16-year-old and let her serve alcohol as well and stored alcohol in an unlicensed place. Bar 9 remains closed, splitting up those days between November 24th to the 29th and then again December 22nd to the 27th. The holidays are one of the busiest times of the year for online shopping and also online crime. Now, Montana Attorney General Tim Fox has introduced the state's latest weapon against cyber criminals. Meet Agent Katie Stewart. That's the Montana Department of Justice's new cybercrime agent, who, along with a new partnership with the FBI's Cybercrime Initiative, will support the Montana Department of Justice's ongoing mission to respond to and prevent cyber attacks. Previously, Stewart worked as a detective in Colorado. She said most of her cases involved cybercrime in some form, and that's when she became passionate about fighting it. Road construction season is coming to an end in Bozeman, thankfully, and MTN's Cody Boyer takes a closer look at one of the biggest projects and has an update.
Oh, it was a very well-needed project.
Nearly 4 months of concrete ripping, road closure sign placing, and safety vest wearing later, the road closed signs are starting to disappear.
I'm glad it's open because that stop signs there weren't working.
Traffic once again has a route through the new Durston-Ferguson roundabout. Mark McKernan is one of many who live within sight and earshot of the construction.
The traffic could get all the way down Ferguson at 5 o'clock. You're 3-4 blocks down. So the roundabout's going to make this go a lot faster.
And just down the road, Cottonwood Road has followed suit. McKernan says both projects forced traffic into their once quiet neighborhoods.
It's taken about 1,500 cars off of this side road here on Kimball. And that was getting bad.
For those living near Cottonwood or the Durston-Ferguson intersection, they say it's a relief to see that the signs are gone, while there's still a lot of orange cones out. And the fact that the Ferguson intersection, while it once was a large mound of dirt, if you look nearby, the big mounds, they're still here, indicating there's still work to be done. Project engineer Bob Murray confirms the work isn't over yet.
They're doing some temporary tie-ins and cleanup and making everything safe.
Yet McKernan says the return of routine traffic where it should be is a welcoming sign.
I think that they did a really good job and it was quick.
In Bozeman, Cody Boyer, MTN News.
Engineers say the project is still on track to be completed in early spring, but as always, the weather could change that. When Montana This Morning returns, several people killed after an earthquake rocks Albania. And here's what's coming up on CBS This Morning.
Good morning ahead. We're on the scene of breaking news as a wildfire approaches Santa Barbara, California. And only on CBS News, David Begnaud's emotional interview with the grandfather charged in the cruise ship death of his granddaughter. How eyesight may have played a role in the 18-month-old's tragic fall. Plus, also we show you a test evacuation of a smoky plane as the FAA tries to create a new minimum seat size standard. We'll see you at 7.